Frequency parasites, the hidden forces draining your energy, that are stealing your power, that are siphoning it out of you one bite at a time. They do it in various different ways. And the real slick ones, the ones that are the best at stealing your energy, they're so good at doing it that you don't even realize that they're siphoning away your energy. Today we're going to talk about energy vampires. Not just any energy vampires, but the absolute worst type, and just who are actually responsible for us getting our energy stolen and siphoned away. Well, it's us. What if I told you that you are the reason why your energy, your wealth, your freedom, your sovereignty is getting stolen from you? That's going to be the topic tonight. So make sure we share this video. Make sure we click that like button if you are on Instagram. Okay, make sure you come on over to YouTube. We're on YouTube at the Forbidden Knowledge Podcast Network live on YouTube. If you're on X and you want to see it on a bigger screen, leave X and come on over to YouTube on the Forbidden Knowledge of the #4 Forbidden Knowledge Podcast Network. If not, you can stay where you are. Okay? It's going to be great talk tonight. .br, live good talk tonight. All right, we're talking about frequency parasites, the hidden forces draining your energy, stealing your focus, stealing your wealth, stealing your sovereignty. .bar. And who is responsible for that? We're going to dive deep into that today. The frequency parasites, we understand that, there are forces in your life right now that are stealing your power, that are siphoning it out of you, right? One bite at a time, by T. Because your energy is just like digital bytes, right? Digital bytes of information. There's no difference. And, the crazy thing about it is when I really look at how people siphon energy, they do it in various different ways. And the real slick ones, the ones that are the best at stealing your energy, whether it be a person or a company or news and media, they're so good at doing it that you don't even realize that they're siphoning away your energy, And, it's incredible how we keep allowing it to happen. And I say we because I'm just as guilty as everyone else here watching on this live. I always include myself because everyone is susceptible to things at certain times. It's just a matter of, can you catch yourself and stop yourself and correct yourself? That's the difference maker, right? Are you able to make that adjustment? Because that's where it comes down to. There are forces right now that are operating in your life that are stealing your power. Not supernatural forces, but real energetic, emotional, and psychological drains that are pulling you in all different directions, taking you out of alignment. And the reason why I'm having this talk tonight is because there's a lot going on in the world at this moment. There's a lot going on media and news at the moment. Of course, with the Epstein files, with Trump, with Congress, with the government shut down and reopening, and the SNAP EBT, and all the ICE agents abducting people all over the country. And now some ICE agents just got caught having, what's the words I can use, but I get discount flagged. They got caught soliciting minors for activities that would be considered to be rated 10th. There you go. I could say it that way. They just got busted having rated 10-1 scenarios with minors. So what do you think they're doing with all these little kids when they steal them off the street? And we're supposed to be scared of the people that they're taking away. We should be scared of them. They're the ones that are committing the dubious acts. A couple of them a couple weeks ago just committed unalivings of actual U.S. citizens. So it's just getting crazy, right? So all of this creates an algorithm, and this algorithm begins to thrive as everyone is into this chaotic algorithm, which is really designed to capture our minds, hearts, and souls. To keep us completely distracted and keep us focusing on all this dark information, and myself included, especially because I have to report the information. And I have to find a way to figure out what am I going to put out with regards to some of these topics. I can't completely ignore them because forbidden knowledge isn't just about, love and light. I got to expose the darkness so that we can understand and know that it's actually there. Because a lot of people are in cognitive dissonance or don't even realize what's going on around them. Not because they're ignorant. It's just because there's so many things to take care of in one day, like taking care of your family, going to work, and all those kind of things. It's hard to sometimes recognize all the dubious acts that are going on. So I'll try to mix it. I try to balance it so that I don't become one of those vampires. I try to show you a little bit of what's really going on. And then I try to show you some positive, some love, some light, some motivation, some inspiration, some self-improvement type stuff. I try to balance it out so it's not all just dark and not all just negative. And I also try to bring solutions to problems so that you can solve the problems versus just living in a state of worrying all the time, right? But this is what we're facing. We're facing times right now where the media has completely dominated every single form of media and has completely cast this gray shadow over everything because of the topics at hand. And obviously the topic at hand is very important. And the reason why it's important is because young women underage were taken advantage of. And some people want to blame the girls, and I think a shame on them for blaming girls. I blame more the parents than girls themselves. Number one. Number two, we each have to realize and understand that young children are groomed and their minds are easily malleable and they're very impressionable, and it becomes very easy to take advantage of children. And this is why pedophilia has blossomed globally, is because the adults who commit those egregious acts, they know and understand that, so it is going to permeate all forms of media at this particular moment. But at the same time, we have to remember to replenish ourselves and feed ourselves some positivity, feed ourselves some love, some light. We have to feed ourselves inspiration, motivation, some self-help, okay? We can't go so dark that we allow it to affect our physiology, become angry, frustrated, pissed off, and triggered, because that will have a negative effect not only on you and your body, but even on everyone around you. We have to have some type of balance, okay? We need balance. Yes, from time to time, I'll snap on these topics, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to make it 100% of what I talk about, because we need balance in our lives. Too much of anything is no good for you. Like I said before, if I sat here with 5 gallons of water, and you know that water is great for the human body, we're made up of 70% water. But if I sat here with 5 gallons of water and drank it on this live, I would be uno alive by the end of this podcast, because the water would dilute my blood so much. I would actually un alive. I would pass away. So too much of anything can be dangerous for you. Okay? So we have to have balance. Most people don't realize this is happening. They just don't realize it. You could be doing the right affirmations, the right work, but if your energy is leaking in all different directions, which is what's happening a lot right now, your results will fall short. So if you're trying to manifest or create or build, and you're trying to figure out like what's holding me back right now, it could be that you're out of balance with a lot of these energy vampires and a lot of these doom scrolling, right? Just doom scrolling on social media, because they know how to catch you on the algorithm. You got to turn into doom, scrolling into positivity, not negativity. Because tonight we're going to break down the real frequency parasites, the habits, the environments, the emotional patterns that lower your vibration and literally disconnect you from the wealth frequency. And what is wealth? Wealth is health. Wealth is abundance. And what is abundance? Your needs are met when they need to be met. It doesn't mean you're a billionaire. It doesn't mean you're a millionaire. People don't really understand what the word wealth actually really means. It's a frequency. Number one. Number two, if you don't have your health, if you don't have your sanity, your mental health and physical health, you're poor. You're piss poor. Okay? Those two things will make you wealthy. And then as long as your needs are being met, oh, your car payment's been paid, great. That's abundance. Your rent or your mortgage is paid, that's abundance. Your electricity is getting paid, that's abundance. You have food in your stomach and your kids are eating, that's abundance. That's abundance. But to get on that, you have to get on the frequency of it. Low frequency environments will drain your energy. You know, clutter, noise, chaos, stressful spaces, they're going to activate the nervous system. When you get on that phone and start doom scrolling after you see about 4 or 5 posts about Epstein and you know, what's going on in other parts of the world with people alive and kids in the streets. Okay, you got enough of it. If you want to find a way to collectively share that information or put your voice on it, that's great too. But after that, you got to move back into positivity, move back into inspiration, move back into love, right? High frequency, high vibrational information. Because if I leave my house and I go to the hood where there could be some violence going on, let's say I go to a place where I know that 2 opposing factions are always battling, and I stand in between 2 opposing factions, I'm putting myself in harm's way. I'm putting myself in chaos purposefully. Well, don't think you have to go to a physical place to accomplish the same thing. You can do that right by going to your device, your phone, your tablet, or your TV. And if you rewatching TV, or if you know anybody that's watching TV, they're getting hit with a TV broadcast. So the television live vision is broadly casting a spell over you. They're casting a broad spell. So they're broadly casting the spell and keeping you stuck in fight or flight mode. Okay? It's not mystical. It's just simple biology. Your brain is going to enter survival mode. And when it does that, the blood's going to leave the frontal lobe and move to the back of the brain, to the hind B brain. And then your creativity is going to shut down. Your frequency is going to completely collapse. You're not even going to recognize yourself. From the people around you, they eventually won't recognize who you are as well. Okay? They just won't recognize you. So you have to understand that we have to put ourselves in positive emotional environments, even if we have to dip our toe in the water a little bit, right? We got to dip our toe in the water to get some information from the other side so we can be aware, awake, and aware of what's going on. I'm not saying to be so love and light that you can't be aware of what's happening around you, because being aware of what's going on around you is extremely important, extremely important. But at the same time, we can't hover there for too long. We got to get in. We got to get the information that we need so we can understand what's going on. We can then meditate on that. If we can meditate on providing a solution to the problem, or being a part of the solution, or finding someone that's trying to create a solution, that's even better. And now we have awareness, spatial awareness, conscious awareness, regional and global awareness, which is what we need to survive. Now, okay, I got that information. Let me get back into the real deal stuff. See, balance, everything requires balance. In Isaiah 47, in the biblical text, God is speaking, and they reference God as a he in that book. So they call him a he. So I'm going to say he not, because I believe in any gender of a creator, but I do believe in a creator, but they say he. But let me tell you what it says in Isaiah 47. He says, I created the good and I created the evil, doeth I saith the Lord. And what this is referencing is the fact that there's yin and yang that exists and permeates the entire universe. There's good and evil, dark and light, white and black, whatever you want to call it. This is a reference to one source creating both. One source creating both. And I don't believe that there's a he or a she as a creator God. I believe that God is a frequency and it's our job to tune in. And that there is a creator, there is a God, in my opinion. But the point that I'm making here is this is letting you know from a perspective of the author there that good and bad permeates everything coming from one source, and the universe has darkness and it has light. So we have to be aware that the darkness exists. Not only does it exist in the universe, it exists inside of us as well. All of us have dark corners inside of our mind, hidden shadows and doors that you can go behind, and clothes that are dark. And anyone who thinks that they're impervious to that, they're fooling themselves and they're lying to everyone else. Your job becomes, how do you balance your darkness and your light? How do you suppress your darkness? How do you go into those dark corners and deal and face those demons and tame them and keep them under control? That's what it comes down to. A famous martial art instructor had a great quote. He said, I'm not teaching you how to eliminate evil. I'm teaching you how to control it. There's a difference between thinking you have the power to eliminate darkness. We don't have that power. But what we can do is we can learn how to control it. Why? Because higher vibrational, high frequency, which is light, high frequency has more power over darkness. Simple analog analogy that I'll use before I move on. As you've heard me say before, I'm in a well-lit room. I can't imbue any darkness into this room to make it go dim while I'm on this live feed. There's nothing I can do at this moment to make the room dark except to turn the lights off. And once the lights turn off, if I turn on the flashlight on my cell phone, the darkness will instantly flee from the light. Instantly flee from the light. Without a doubt, because light has power over darkness. I'm not teaching you how to eliminate evil. I'm teaching you how to control it. And when you learn how to control the darkness, you are less susceptible to the energy vampires that are trying to suck you dry. No Diddy. Okay. So it's a great talk tonight. I hope y'all are getting something out of this because this is what the times are calling for this type of understanding and mindset. A lot of you already knows, but it's like, let me just get a reminder to shift myself back because the nervous system is going to sync with the emotions of the other people, the emotions of the post on doom scrolling, the emotion of what's on the news, the emotions of the people gossiping around you. So spending time around chronically negative people or content is going to lower your state of consciousness. It's going to shrink it. Okay, it's going to take you from here down to here. And then all of a sudden, everything you've been trying to work on, everything you've been trying to manifest, it just seems like it stalled out. And you're like, hey, what happened? All these things just were going so good. And all of a sudden, boom, I'm kind of stagnant right now. I'm missing workouts. I'm having arguments with my girlfriend or boyfriend or my husband or wife. I'm frustrated all the time. I'm sick and tired. I'm pissed off. I don't know what's going on. Or I'm depressed. Or I'm anxious. I'm missing meals. Or I'm eating too much. I'm yelling at my kid. DS for no damn reason. All these things are being triggered because you got caught in the algorithm. You don't realize it. And before you turn around, you're on the same frequency as the vampires, which is where they want you, because then they can mold you and twist you into whatever they want. And they're out there. Oh, they're out there. Trust me on this. They are just waiting for the golden opportunity to get you. Everything from the trolls on social media to everything else. I told y'all the story before a while back, but I have a lot of new people on the accounts now. So I'm going to tell you again, when you get your phone and you make a post on social media, right? You make that post on social media, boom. And then all of a sudden you get a notification. Somebody has trolled you. You don't even know. You go and you look on the comment feed. You open that comment and a photon pings off of the screen, goes to the retina, gets sent to the back of the brain. The brain sorts it all out, decodes the data, and now it's a negative comment on one of your own posts that you put out. And now that negative comment that was decoded by your mind triggers an emotional response in you. It's going to drop your frequency very rapidly, give you sweaty palms, accelerate your heart rate and your respiratory system, and spike your cortisol hormones. All within seconds. All within absolute seconds, the energy vampire is getting ready to stick his or her fangs into your neck. They've got you. They got you in fight or flight. You're frozen. Now, the next thing that they're waiting for is for you to respond. So you respond to that negative comment. And then what happens? The energy from your conscious thought and your frustration and anger and low vibration is sent into the device. It rides on an invisible light wave called a microwave to the local tower. When it gets to the local tower, it's transmitted from tower to tower until it balances down into the region where that person is located. It hits their tower and the microwave beam, which is encoded with your conscious energy, is riding that microwave light to their device. It hits their device lights up, they tap the notification tab, a photon pings off of that screen, and the energy that you put in from who knows how many miles or thousands of miles away goes into their retina, goes into the back of their brain, and they get a very happy sensation. They got oxytocin. They're pumped up. They're excited. They have just now eaten your absolute energy. They ate your energy. They are energy vampires. You got high frequency drop to low. You got a spike in cortisol. You sent that energy into the device. It got to them. And when they devoured it, it made them happy. It satisfied them. You see, that's how it works. So we are being preyed on 24/7, 7 days a week. But if you're not aware that this is happening, you won't fully understand why things in your life are going astray and arrive. And we're all victims to this, myself included. It's all about the awareness that brings us back to brain-heart coherence, that brings us back to being centered, that brings us back to focus, and that brings us back to guarding our energy. See, these are important because if you're trying to create a better future for yourself, get that raise at your job, build a business, be a better parent, all these things, be a better spouse or boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever you are. These types of energy vampires will affect everything like a virus in your house, a virus at your workplace. And you'll be like, damn, what's going on here? Or you've been infected by the bite from the energy vampires. We're not talking about entities. We're talking about neural emotional loops that you're being put into. And when you repeat thoughts of worry, doubt, right, resentment, all those patterns are going to create emotional echoes. They're going to keep you in the same frequency. Boom, down low. You have to learn how to break that pattern. You have to change the frequency. And if you change the frequency, then you can change the outcome. But you got to catch yourself first. You have to be honest with yourself. You'll be like, oh man, you know what? I realize I'm not in the right frequency right now. I'm not operating right. I'm not my normal self. I'm outside of my normal character. My character traits aren't like this. I recognize this isn't really who I am. And you have to be honed. And you have to realize, oh yeah, I'm not my normal self right now. Snap back, 10 deep breaths, meditation, focus. Think of something that was a great moment in your life. Express gratitude for that emotionally and shift your body back into a state of high frequency, because the digital overlords, they're going to lower your vibration. They focus on that 24/7. And what are they? Doom scrolling to bad news and overstimulated, sites that bring so much negativity, street fights, attacks, people committing crazy pranks that make you anxious. All these kind of things that you find on doom scrolling, right? It creates high cortisol spikes, which lowers your creativity. Low creativity is going to equal a low frequency. And this is why you're going to feel drained after being online so long. Your nervous system is not designed for that kind of constant input of negativity 24/7. Boom, 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 boom. All day, all night. First thing you wake up, you reach for the phone, you pull the phone to your little one eye that's open, and you open it up when the feed is negative right away. Are you like H? So from the day start, you own the algorithm, right? And by the way, these are a lot of the topics that I talk about inside of my Forbidden Knowledge Academy. I know there are some people here from the Academy right now. And I'm going to talk a little bit about something special that I have going on at the end of this video. So make sure you stay to the very end and check it out, okay? Because it's going to be something very special that I want to talk about briefly at the very end. But we have to understand that our energy is a finite resource, okay? It's a finite resource. Your attention, your focus, and your emotional capacity are going to be forms of energy, and every argument, every anxious thought, every hour that you spend scrolling and doom scrolling is a withdrawal from your own energetic bank account. Now we have a certain amount of energy in our bodies, in our conscious mind as well. And just like a battery in a car or a battery in your device just starts dropping. And when it gets too low, you already know what happens. The device turns off. You become an NPC, a non-player character, just floating through this matrix of life, completely unaware, completely just robotic, not really understanding or knowing who you truly are and the power that's inside of you. You might as well become a cog in the matrix. It's all about understanding how do you get on the wealth frequency, because that frequency is an abundant frequency. It means you're taking care of your temple, your body, you're eating healthy, you're exercising to the best of your ability, you're focused on finding the right types of food to put into your body, right? You're not stagnant and sitting in one place all day. You get up and take breaks and move your body around. You focus on reading and studying things about health so you can become more knowledgeable about being healthy. You also begin to manifest abundance. Your bills are paid. Your business is thriving. You're getting that raise at the office, at the company, whatever you're working for. Your family is happy. You got to get on that frequency. The coherence means that your mind, your emotions, and your actions are going to match. You're going to begin to think clearly. You're going to feel aligned. You're going to feel, you're going to be acting with more intention, and everything else is going to be pushed away. Fear, distraction, chaos, all those things. You'll be able to tune them out, and you'll be able to stay focused on maintaining a high vibration, on getting on the wealth frequency. Okay, now another thing that I'm noticing through the life coaching and the business coaching that I've been doing is understand that we have the ability to allow our bodies to heal itself, to put ourselves in the right situations to allow our avatar bodies to maximize what it's capable of doing, right? So there are some practical ways to protect your frequency. One of the best ways, and I know hard for some people, unfortunately, is to get sunlight. Real direct sunlight is so important for consciousness to get rid of depression, makes you feel better. It's healthy for the body. Real vitamin D. Vitamin D doesn't come from the udders of a cow. Vitamin D comes from the sun. Clean spaces around you. Another important thing, get your clutter out of the way. Declutter, clean everything. Conscious breathing is another way. Breathing the right way. Taking conscious breaths. Doing breath work. And also grounding, getting out in nature. Grounding your body to the earth. Releasing those electrons. Getting in sync with Mother Gia. And intentional media consumption, like watch the 4BK Go to your app store and get the number 4 Forbidden Knowledge TV app. Go to your app store and get Gaia. Go to your app store and get Curiosity Stream. Go to your app store or tune into things on your Prime or whatever you have that are going to be motivational, inspirational, loving, caring shows maybe that are still movies, but have a message that is worth listening to, right? It's going to teach you something. Is edutainment versus things that are going to make you anxious, angry, pissed off, fearful, and put you in fight or flight. Draw healthy boundaries. That's another way. And also get into supportive social circles. If you realize, again, that the 5 people that you're around is going to be your average income, your average health, your average level of consciousness, your average level of communication. What you talk about the most is going to be the average of those 5 people. Who are the people that you're socializing with in that circle of 5? Analyze that. So important. And these are not rituals. These are nervous system resets. That's how you're going to raise your baseline vibration and stay in the wealth frequency.